Welcome to Virtuous Teacher. I'm your host, Ritchie Knox. Thank you for watching and listening. In this episode, we'll be talking about how to build wealth as a teacher. All right. And before we jump into any conversation, please check out the descriptions area for more ways to connect and support. All right. Now, we know that teaching is a very amazing profession, but it doesn't pay so well. And if you clicked on this video, I'm guessing that you could be someone who wants to find out what I have to say about how to improve your financial status. And let's start off right. Let's just jump in. All right. The first thing that you can do to make more money as an educator is go back to school. All right, go back and enhance what you already know. Become a, even stronger professor in a particular subject. All right, what I mean by that is going back for your master's degree, going back for your doctoral degree. And the blessings are threefold. Number one, you'll probably get a kickback as a result of a combination of leftover monies from financial aid and loans. So you get these nice, beautiful stipend checks. I want to say my biggest stipend check was like $8,000 in one check. It was amazing. The next thing that happens is you become more educated about educational subjects, which means you're more valuable. You're a bigger asset to your school and county. And the third thing is most schools offer incentives like tuition reimbursement and things like that for you to go back to school. And as you rack up credit hours, you can bring those credit hours back to your human resources department and say, hey, I've racked up more credit hours. And as such, they'll pay you at a higher step. So it's so many beautiful things about going back to school. And don't forget, if you don't want to go back to school necessarily, you can go and get nationally board certified. I believe that is an incentive offered by the state, perhaps. I'm not exactly sure, but it's just like going back to school, except it's not, if that makes sense. But national board certification offers several incentives. All right, I think the last time I checked, they offer like a $12,000 boost. All right, but don't quote me on that. The next thing you can do is do your job and nothing more. Now, I'm going to get a lot of flack on that because I know someone is saying, you need to volunteer. It's always good to help. Be a helping hand. I get all that. But let's be very clear. As teachers, we're being exploited on a daily basis, right? What about us? Right? We're teaching 30 kids per class. We probably have about 4 classes per day. I mean, do the math on that. You're teaching over 150 students and you're getting paid nominally. And that's just not, it's just not good enough. So what I mean by that is when you do your job or when you finish your job, go home. There are several incentives, or I should say benefits to doing that. Number one is you get a chance to reset in preparation for the next day. That's the most obvious one. But what else happens is you get time to spend time with your family. But what really happens is you get more time to make more money. I know that sounds bad, but that's exactly what happens. The reason I'm able to sit here in front of you right now is because I'm not chaperoning at some event. I'm not staying after and hosting some after school club. And it would be amazing if I did those things. But I have to go out and try to find ways to improve the world on my own. Yes, I am extremely happy to be an educator and work the job that I work in the county that I work in. But I feel like I can help other people and I can expand my horizons. And the only way that I can do that is once I'm off work, I'm off work. I am no longer an employee of this particular space because now it's time for me to be me. And a part of being me is helping other people. And again, it might even be slightly different for the next person. Maybe they have a second job that they can go to, like an actual employment type of job, right? Maybe they leave work and they go work Uber, or they leave work and they go and work private or do private sessions. I'm not exactly sure. It would probably differ for everyone else or everybody. But the point is, when you're off, be off and allow yourself an opportunity to do other things, right? The next thing is save money. This is a very interesting one. I see teachers often right after payday go out, buy all kinds of food, and then by Monday or Tuesday the next week they're back eating sandwiches. All right, so I would say save money. And here's how I do it. One of my most valuable tips that I can offer you is pack your own lunch, bring your own food. All right, you're spending less. I mean, I'm sure that it's like an entire utility bill for some people, lunch. They're probably during lunchtime going and getting Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King every single day. And that's racking up day after day after day after week after week after month after year. You're probably just spending tons of money there. So find ways to save money. Another way that you can save money is spend less. For example, this shirt that you see here, it might look like I just got it not long ago, but you can tell this is the dead giveaway here. When you see that right there, that's the dead giveaway. This shirt is about 3 or 4 years old. All right, it's called the cleaners, ladies and gentlemen. Take your clothes to the cleaners rather than always going and buying new clothes. Save money. Perhaps don't even buy a wardrobe. Go to a place like Nuuly.com and, just subscribe for new clothes on a monthly basis. All right, I know women who do that. They'll subscribe to Nuuly, never buy new clothes from Ross or Forever 21 or wherever they shop, and they'll pick their wardrobe every month via their Nuuly subscription. So whatever you can do to save money, do it, because saving money matters. I sound like a financial advisor right now, and I'm not. The next thing you can do to build wealth as a teacher is obviously invest. There's several different platforms for you to do that, whether it be Robinhood, M1 Investing, Ally Mutual Banking, stuff like that, your actual neighborhood or local bank. Those are all ways that you can build wealth outside of your normal annual salary. All right. Investing. I learned how to invest in 2018. I made about $100,000 the next year. It was an amazing adventure. I never thought I would be an investor, but it's not that difficult. If you know how to buy one thing and then wait for that one thing to grow in value and then sell it, then you know how to invest. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's small nuances that you have to learn, like tickers and sell points and all that stop gaps, all that little cool stuff. That'll come as you get experience. All right. But yes, try it out. You have M1 Investing. Now, this is an amazing platform, and I'm not being paid by them to say this, but with M1 Investing, they invest for you. Like, seriously, you just provide the money and then you pick what investing style you want to utilize or the AI to utilize. And then their AI systems will invest for you. All you have to do is sit back and watch. All right, don't watch because it's terrible to look at. Then you have mutual funds. I think Ally is one of the banks that I would advocate for because they have a really easy online mutual fund process. You just put money there. You say how long you want it to stay there. And then 5 years, 10 years later, you can pull your money out once it rests. All right, then you have your obvious options, the bank around the corner, savings accounts. I don't like those because they don't generate enough money for me. It's just like it's too slow. But one thing is for certain is that it's safe. All right. So you can't go wrong there. The second thing, or I should say the next thing, is to get a second job. This is one I don't really like because you know how difficult it is to teach and do this thing called education. To think that you can go and leave work and then go work again, that sounds almost like slavery. It really does. Because the one thing I don't ever want to do is when I get off, go back and work somewhere else. This is considered work, but it is a different type of work that I enjoy. So in a sense, I'm working, but I'm also enjoying myself. And that is the best type of work. Do a job that you enjoy, right? So I would say a second job, preferably a job that doesn't feel like work. All right. Start a business. This is such a huge one that I have to put it out there. Start a business. Okay. Your state is probably offering tons of incentives for you to become a small business owner. I own several businesses. I have so many. It's so hard to name them. Wordy.com, bhshirts.com. I own, oh my gosh, so many of them. I can't even think of them. My brain is like, Vidmondo is another one. Oh my goodness. It's so many of them. This podcast, I own several podcasts. Reallyhood.com. I mean, it's so many of them. Right? These are all, oh yeah, my new dating site is coming out pretty soon. Lovercane.com. I mean, so many different business ventures. It's insanely hard to keep up with them. Ritchieknoxart.com. There's another one. So it's so many different things that you can get yourself into, especially when it comes to starting a business. Maybe you do hair. Maybe you have a landscaping business. Maybe you have certain skills in crochet and maybe you're a trainer or an exercise guru. There's so many different ways you can make money on the side. All you have to do is slap an LLC on that bad boy. And next thing you know, you're a business owner. It's that easy. All right. Next, create content for paying platforms. All right. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I believe, offers money for content creators. So, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I have several YouTube channels. This is only one of them. All right. And my other ones are monetized. This one is not. Soon it will be, though. Right. And the point is, start creating content and getting paid for that content because, Hey, why not? Right? You're pretty much on the internet all the time anyway. So why not start to generate income, for your content? That's the way to do it. All right. Next thing, pick your spouse, your wife or your husband carefully. All right. Now this is going to sound kind of weird, but let me just break it down. Give me a minute to let me figure out what I'm thinking first so I can project it the correct way. As a teacher, more than likely you'll be dating. You're probably marrying somebody over the next 3 or 4 years. And obviously I'm talking about people who have not crossed those lines yet. But Warren Buffett said it best. Who you choose to marry is one of the most important financial decisions that you can make. Let's look at the horror stories. If you pick the wrong person, you end up having a child with that person, and then you end up getting a divorce. All right, now you're splitting your income down the middle, especially if you're a man. And then, of course, child support. Bad decision, right? That can destroy you financially. Even if you're on the other side of that spectrum, you can be with the wrong person. And though you're getting kickbacks in terms of child support, alimony, mentally you're not happy. Right? So that's just as bad. I would say if you're able to marry the right person that is also financially stable, that can only help financially for you. And let's just take a break from marriage and go to dating. Dating is such a what do you call it? A very expensive hobby. I mean, you're going on 3 dates a week. And, the average date costs between $75 and $150. I mean, that's almost like a utility bill. And let's flip the script a little bit. Let's say you're a woman going on 3 to 5 dates a week. Well, guess what you're losing in exchange for food? You're losing time. You're losing time, which is the most valuable commodity. So now you're on these dates that you're probably not even happy or enjoying. And instead of doing that, you could have been working on your baking business or your cooking business or your hair braiding business. There's so many different things you could have been doing, but you're stuck on these dates, getting free meals, but you're losing time and you're also probably unhappy. I mean, if you're going on 3 to 5 dates per week, as cool as that sounds, that doesn't sound like a good hobby to maintain. So the point is, pick who you date, who you marry carefully, because they will only do one or two things. They'll enhance your financial status or they'll decrease it. One of the good quotes that I've heard is, pick someone who is a fountain, not a drain. A drain is someone who drains you financially, someone who drains you emotionally, who just drains you in general. It drains your energy, drains you spiritually. No, you don't want to get with someone like that. Get with someone who helps, who is like a fountain, who makes you happy, renews you, makes you feel good, right? That's who you want to be with. And when I say renew you, I mean financially. They help with the bills. They help with it. They're not selfish and just pulling, only trying to get something. They're not doing that. They're actually acting as a vessel for profit, happiness. I mean, let's face it, marriage in some instances is somewhat of a business deal. Who you choose to partner with. I mean, let's be real. Can we be honest for a second? That's kind of what it is. It is about love. But we should know this by this age, that love is just not enough. Right? It's just not enough. It requires so much more. It requires someone who's responsible, someone who has dignity and wisdom and intelligence and financial prowess. It takes all of that to be successful when it comes to marriage. Next, seek financial guidance. And when I say that, I mean talk to someone about two things that I can think of, which is a 401k or an annuity. Okay, someone who is a financial advisor can lead you in the right direction as it relates to when you retire. And annuity and 401ks are the ones that come to mind. I'm sure there's about 1,000 other ones. Next, build a safety net. Most people have this. A lot of people don't. A safety net is an emergency fund. The bare minimum that you want to have when it comes to that is about 10 grand stashed away, not in your investing account, but somewhere safe where it won't detract or anything can happen to it. All right, if you invest 10 grand, and even if it goes up, that's great. But if you have a bad day, that can sink down to 7,000 very easily. So you want to make sure you have a safety net should anything happen or any emergency occur, that you can pretty much go to your emergency stash and you'll be set for 1 to 2 to 3 months. Because the opposite of that is you're living check to check. And here's the question I'll pose to you. How long can you go should you lose your job? How long until you're outside jingling in a can and saying, I need, can I borrow a couple of dollars? How long until that happens from you losing your job? If you lost your job today, could you go another month before you got another paycheck? Could you go 2 months, 3 months? That's a big question. And a lot of people don't really know the answer to that. And you don't want to be that person. You want to have a pretty decent sense of, if I were to lose my job today for any reason, I would be able to sustain myself for this length of time. And again, $10,000 can definitely go a long way. I'm not saying it's going to sustain you for years to come, but it can certainly maybe buy you about 6 months until you get yourself reemployed or you start to tap into different financial resources. So build a nest egg. All right. The next thing is enrich your mind. Motivational content. Watch stuff like this. Do things that, make you think or make you reach deeper into yourself. And why do I think that builds or contributes to financial status? Because your mind is your decision center. That's where all your decisions come from. And if you're making good decisions here, mostly everything falls in line. So money, or I should say the concept of being rich or wealth in of itself is not just a paper amount. Wealth is so much grander than that. Wealth is happiness. Wealth is joy. Wealth is seeing your grandchildren grow up. Wealth is being alive when you're 80 and having functionality in all your limbs. That's real wealth. What good does it do you if you're a billionaire and you die young? What good does it do you if you're a billionaire and you contract cancer or something like that? None of that matters. What good does it do if you're a billionaire but you're unhappy? So you want to do things that enrich your mental state. Next, do things that enrich your body, right? Go to the gym, exercise, meditate. That goes back to the mind. Do things that enrich your body. Eat better, right? Because again, what good does it do if you're a billionaire and you end up getting diabetes? It doesn't matter. It just cancels out. So the point is you have to enrich other aspects of yourself and not only focus on the dollar amount, but understand what real value is. Real value is not necessarily $1 or even a type of currency. Real value is life, time, having time, and that's the strongest commodity, right? If you get to a point where you can kind of sit back and still make money, that's what I would call that wealth. All right, I would call that wealth. Next thing is enrich your spirit through prayer or meditation, right? Make sure that your mind, your body, your spirit are aligned. However you decide to do that. For me, it's prayer. Every day I'm talking to my faith source, Jesus Christ, right? That's what I'm doing. That's the head of my life. But I'm not here to tell you that that's what you have to do. You have to figure that out for yourself. For me, that's what it is. And it works very well for me. But for you, it could be something different. I hope that, you give it a try. Jesus is working very good, always on time. Nevertheless, you still have to figure it out, whatever you decide, because once you're spiritually in order and spiritually aligned, everything falls into place. Trust me on that. Next, again, don't always buy new. I already kind of talked about this, so I won't go into it in depth, but things like going to the cleaners versus to the department store can save you boatloads of cash. Have a financial plan. Budget your income versus your expenses. This is my final pointer, and I think it's probably one of the most important. Earlier on in my education career, what I would do is I would write down how much money was coming in from either my job, my secondary financial sources, my tertiary sources, and then I would subtract that by my bills and the things I had to take care of, like groceries. So make sure that you budget and you have a plan. And do I have to say that you need to stick to it? Right? You don't want to, go through all the work of creating a budget for yourself. And then all of a sudden, you see some new Jordans come out or you see a new purse come out and you're like, hey, I'm going to go drop $2,000 on this particular gadget or gift or what have you. So you want to make sure that what you have coming in makes sense as it relates to what's going out. And the only way you can really do that is to get a good old fashioned calculator or go to your calculator app on your computer or phone. Add up all that you make and then subtract all that the world takes from it and see what you have left over. And if you have money left over, there lies a way to contribute to your investing, a way to contribute to mutual funds and putting money here and nest eggs, all the things we talked about prior. Okay, so that is how you can build wealth as an educator. Use those particular tips, incorporate the ones I forgot. In fact, if I forgot any of them, drop them in the comment section because I know I did. All right, we're talking about education here. There's a lot of smart people watching this video right now. And as such, they're going to point out things I missed. All right, so in the comment section, what did I miss? What is another way to build wealth? Please let me know in the comment section if I forgot it. Thank you for checking this out. You know what to do. Show some love with a like and subscription. And of course, check the descriptions area for ways to connect. It's been a blessing talking to you. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.